we had Lou Holtz on last week, and we like to talk with some of his players, kind of the way that he affected them and the way that he would coach you up and how he changed the way you did. So what is your memories of Lou Holtz and your time in ND under him and what you took away?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I hope you don't mind me telling you another story, because, I have a lot of stories when I was at Notre Dame, because they're the things that actually changed my life forever. And I'll tell you a story that most people don't know about what happened with me at Notre Dame. I was actually a baseball player at Notre Dame for my first 2 years. Went to Notre Dame wanting to be a baseball player, loved baseball, liked football. Coach Pat Murphy was he was one of the large reasons why I went to Notre Dame, because I really fell in love with him as an individual and as a coach. And they both, Coach Holtz and Coach Murphy, both agreed to allow me to play football and baseball at Notre Dame as long as I chose to play. So my freshman year, I played football. Second semester, I played baseball. I did do double sports. Sometimes I had to do spring training and baseball practice on the same day, and did that my first year, and then my second year did it again. Well, my third year, I get to Notre Dame, and my second year. My second year, after the football season's over, I'm going through, baseball practice, spring practice comes around like it did the first year, and I go to Coach Holtz and say, hey, Coach, coming in to talk to you about our schedule for spring practice and baseball, just like I did last year, my freshman year. Coach Holtz says, Irv Smith, I tell you what. He's like, you're a great man. You come from a great family. You're a great person. I love you to death. He's like, you know what I think you should do? He says, this is baseball season right now. He says, don't worry about football right now. He says, you need to concentrate on baseball, because I know you came here, you love baseball. Concentrate on baseball. Don't even worry about spring practice this year. He says, come football season, don't worry about football. I want you to focus on baseball again. I said, what do you mean, Coach? He says, well, Irv, listen, we got a tight end by the name of Oscar McBride from Florida we just got here. We've got Derek Brown, of course. He's our All-American tight end. We've got a guy named Carl McGill, who we moved from linebacker to tight end, who's doing great. We've got a couple of other great freshmen that are doing well. He's like, we don't really think we need you right now at tight end. We'll be just okay. He's like, you can keep your football scholarship. Don't even worry about it. And I looked at him like, are you kidding me? So I walk out the office, and I go over to Coach Moore's office. Coach Moore was my offensive line coach. He coached me in the offensive line, and Coach Skip Holtz, of course, coached me as the receiver coach. But I went to Coach Moore, and I was upset. I was an 18, 19-year-old kid. I was through the roof, because I'm saying to myself, how's he going to tell me to not play football anymore? So Coach Moore was like, Irv, calm down. Let's go talk to Coach Holtz. So we walked back in Coach's office like 5-10 minutes later. We walked back in his office, and Coach Holtz looks up and he's like, can I help you guys? And Coach Moore says, Coach, Irv wants to play football. And he's like, well, Coach, I understand that, but, we got Derek Brown and Oscar McBride and Carl McGill, and we really don't need Irv. So Coach Moore says, Irv, let's go. So we walked out of the office, and Coach Moore said, Irv, I want you to practice tomorrow. I don't care what Coach Holtz says. You come to practice, you give it everything you can. You're not going anywhere. So now at this point, I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? So then I go talk to Coach Murphy, the baseball coach. Coach Murphy said, Irv, he says, you take the next 2 weeks. I don't even want you worrying about baseball. You go back there and prove yourself on that football field. So I went back on the football field the next day for spring practice. I did my thing for about 2 or 3 days straight, and Coach Holtz starts like, oh, my God, look at Irv Smith. He's out there doing his thing. Lo and behold, of course, he allowed me to play football again. I did still play baseball the rest of that season, but what happened was after my sophomore season, going into my junior season, after we actually played in the Sugar Bowl, I literally made a decision that I was not going to play baseball ever again. I said, football, I love baseball, but I'm better at football. And I decided to give it up, all because I realized that what Coach Holtz was doing at that moment, he was testing me. He didn't want me off the team. He wanted to bring out the best in me. He realized that if I was going to practice, he wanted me to give 110% at whatever it is I chose to do. And I tell people all the time, I don't share that story very often, but I tell you what, that was a turning point in my career at Notre Dame, because I realized that I liked baseball. I loved it. It was a great sport, but I was meant to be a football player, and Coach Holtz brought that out of me.
I mean, that is fascinating stuff, and the stories we just keep getting on the show are